What is up, you guys? It is Frank the Tank, and welcome to week number 8 of this Friday Winter League. Yeah, not very much to say other than not really happy about this one. You guys are obviously going to see why. For me, like it just felt like I was at my all-time worst in terms of performance. So much went wrong, and not only that. We were on lanes 1 and 2, something I totally forgot about. Wasn't expecting that. But yeah, we were on lanes 1 and 2. If you guys kept up with all my league videos, you know how I feel about lanes 1 and 2. Hate them so much. That's the nightmare pair right there. Despite the fact that I think I've scored 2 700 series in league on that pair, but that was before they made the changes to the house shot, made it more difficult. So, but yeah, when I say so much went wrong is that I made bad choices, unnecessary ball changes, which counts for bad choices. I wasn't concentrating. My form was pretty awful. I let my anger and frustration get the best of me. Uh, yeah, really, really awful. Uh, that's really all I can say here. Yeah, I'm not going to try to spoil it or anything. I'm just going to let you guys see it. Let's go ahead and let's get to it. Okay, you guys, so here we go. Man, have you ever felt like one of those times where like, oh man, I really don't want to do this, but I know I got to? Well, that's how I'm feeling right now. So we're just going to try to power through this. So here we are on lanes 1 and 2, and the interesting thing is that we're actually going up against the team that are in first place. And not only that, one of the guys on this team has the highest average in the league, which is 211. But I will tell you this. I wasn't the only one who struggled. Everybody struggled. I mean, some were getting unlucky carry, lots of 7s, lots of 10s, lots of splits. I wasn't the only one, and the crazy thing is I don't count this as a spoiler alert because, it's obviously about my performance, not anybody else's, but the crazy thing was that the guy with the 211 average, which, like I said, has the highest average, he struggled pretty badly too. He got a 500 series. I don't know what number exactly, but he was in the 500s. And the crazy thing was his average before this was 211. And then his average in the end of this ended up being 205. So he played pretty badly. It was a struggle. None of us could figure this out. It was crazy. The right lane was a lot more oily than the left. The left was pretty normal, but this one caused the ball to hydroplane. I mean, you could see it hook a little bit, but it just gave off that hydroplane effect. In fact, the guy with that 211 average is this gentleman right here, who's taking a shot. He's the one with the 211 average. Pretty crazy. He pretty basic, up the lane, and look at that. See, started with the 710. I'll talk about unlucky pin carry. But, yeah, it was crazy how he went from 211 to a 205 after this night. So the other mind-boggling thing about this night was that no one got a 200 game except for me. That was it, and you're going to see. I'm not going to spoil it too much, so we're just going to go ahead and get through with it. So if any of you saw my camera setup video, you'll know that I am now recording from an iPhone, and this is what it looks like. If you didn't see it, I'd recommend you probably look at it so you can see the differences, but nonetheless, here we go on the left lane with the Proton Physics, and I will say this. I was feeling very conflicted about what I should use, and everything was looking pretty good. I didn't pick up my nuclear cell because obviously I know that ball front to back, but the proton physics and the rocket ship were the two balls that I picked up in the 10 minutes of practice to figure out how they would work, and they were both working out pretty good, but I couldn't figure out what to pick. So I thought, let's just start with the proton physics. So I chose the proton physics, and I believe I may have lined up on 22 and a half. And as you can see, I left a 10 pin, so according to my notes, what happened on that first shot was that, let me see here, yeah, I decided to start with the proton on 22 and a half on the left lane. The shot, to me, it looked like it was good, but it didn't read early like I expected. It got a little bit further down, and as you can see, we got the light hit and it deflected, so I wasn't sure of what change to make there. So here we go on the right lane, making the same thing that I did on the left lane, 22 and a half with the proton, and that one right there, bad release was what happened there. I gave the ball too much like forward roll. I didn't really add any kind of like hook to it, and as you can see, well, I did add some hook to it, but like not enough to where the ball would get back. You could see it kind of just died. It was like a hook stop kind of thing that I added there, and that was because I let it go pretty badly, and as a result, the split in the second. Alright, so to me, that shot looked good because I got it exactly where I wanted it to, but as you could see, it went high. So, for me, because I felt it was a good shot and it didn't do what I wanted down lane, I felt the necessary move would be to go to 23. At least for the next time I was going to be on this left lane. Yeah, so that one right there, I was actually on 22 and a half, and as you could see, it went high again as well. So I thought to myself, okay, maybe stand on 23 on both the left and the right lane. Then I will admit, right here, I rushed myself quite a bit, and it ended up costing me an easy 9 spare. So now we go with 9 and open. Alright, so for this 5th frame, I made the decision to go to the rocket ship because that ball was also giving me a good look in the 10 minutes of practice, and along with the proton physics, and I thought, well, let's try this ball out because then that means I can move right. I don't want to be moving to the left, like, already. So yeah, that one right there, I got it left of target and it went Brooklyn, and I thought, okay, well, don't do that the next time I'm on the left lane, especially don't do that when I get up on this right lane. Alright, on that one, I got it too far to the right. That one was way too obvious, as you could see by that light hit. And the strategy for this was that I would move to board 21, so I'm moving to the right. And I thought to myself, well, I kind of like what I'm seeing on this rocket ship. It's lengthier, and it's still pretty quick around the corner compared to the proton physics. It's not as violent when it flares. So I thought, okay, well, I think I like this rocket ship better, so I think I'm going to stay with this from here on out. Wasn't about to miss another spare either. Good shot. What can I say? Good shot. I told myself, don't do what you did on the left lane in the previous shot, like where I got left. Get it more to the right. And from that, I thought, oh yeah, definitely, like that solidified my decision that I'm sticking with the rocket ship. So any of you who don't know about this rocket ship bowling ball, some of you out there already, I know a handful of you already know about this ball. For those of you who don't know, allow me to give you a little bit of a history lesson. It's not a very good one, but the rocket ship was made in 2016. It has the R2S solid cover, which is the same thing that's on the IQ Tour, and based on the different core that they put in here, the booster core I think is what they call it, and based on the RG and the differential, it's much stronger than the IQ Tour, but it's not as early as the IQ Tour. So it's got a higher RG and also a somewhat Okay, it's got a higher RG compared to the IQ Tour, so obviously the IQ Tour is earlier, and then it's got a low differential as well, but not as low as the IQ Tour. So this thing is lengthier and stronger than the IQ Tour. That's the best way I could put it. The IQ Tour, we all know, is like the best mid-level ball out there. It's still on the market today. That shows you that it is. So yeah, IQ Tour is early but slower on the corner compared to the rocket ship. As you can see, the rocket ship is pretty quick, not insanely strong, but you know what, with this, for my rev rate and speed, it's got me standing on 21, so it's a pretty decent ball. I really like it. Okay, so coming off that really good shot on the right lane, we got back-to-back strikes. Here we are on the left. And for that one, it looked good, but I want to say that maybe that was one of those ones where I let it sit in the oil a little too long based on how it was kind of a little late to turn the corner. Like I said, I know this ball is lengthy, but that shot in particular had me like, that was kind of late on its reaction. And then as you can see, 10 pin and the way it hit the pocket, it just seemed like that to me. Okay, so here we go after missing that 10 pin, and that clearly cost us the chance at a good game. And that one was a little bit too far right, and as you can see, another 10 pin that we have to deal with as a result. And another thing I noticed was that the ball didn't really get around the corner like I expected it to, and the reason for that was because it definitely seemed a lot more oily down lane. I definitely noticed that with the proton physics when I threw it too. Luckily, I remember how to pick up 10 pins again. Fell off balance, got it too far right, hardly got back, and yeah, I was not happy about that. Not my proudest moment. So there we go, finishing game one with the 171. Not that great, pretty weak start. And I felt like now I had a better understanding of what I was getting into, what the lanes were looking like. I was a little more comfortable with this ball, so I thought, okay, let's do this. Game on. So on this shot, what I decided on, as you can see, I made the move to 20.5. So half board move. Fell off balance, but I got the ball where I wanted it to go, luckily. I couldn't tell because obviously I was too busy trying to regain my balance, but luckily it all worked out in the end, and I thought to myself, okay, I guess I've already made the right move to begin with. So on this left lane, I continued with the same strategy. I didn't make any moves. I believe I was on 21 on this left lane because of obviously that right lane being a little more oily. I had to make that move to the right. And then there, I see that, and I'm thinking, I don't know, maybe I should make that move to the right as well. Fell off balance again at the line. Just atrocious. And it was actually, I have to admit, right then and there was when I noticed that the ball started to look like it didn't even want to turn. Like, that was when I noticed that this right lane was looking more oily. I mean, the ball just looking like it was hydroplaning down lane, and it did not want to turn, but it did a little bit. So that's when I thought, okay, I guess maybe I got to keep on moving right. But at the same time, I also want to point out that I looked up at the monitor, and I thought, I saw that the speed was actually a little quicker than usual, so I thought, okay, well, I could add that. I could continue to add that speed increase that I added on that shot, but I gotta move to the right if that's what I'm gonna do. But if I'm gonna maintain the speed that I had previously, then I gotta stay on 21.5. This is some complicating stuff. Alright, so that shot had a little bit of loft to it, and I have to say that not only did it loft a little, but I let it go the wrong way as well. I could hear it, like almost immediately. I could hear it rolling over the middle finger, so I knew that I had let it go with too much. I'd gotten too much up the side of the ball, which I really, really hate that I've still got that habit. Like, I just can't seem to shake it. So on that shot right there, I decided on decreasing my speed just a little bit, but staying on 20.5. And Again, I noticed a light hit, so I thought to myself, okay, speed decrease is clearly not going to do it, and I don't want to decrease the speed anymore because I'm afraid it'll probably go through the nose, giving it too much time to hook. So I thought, okay, well, I guess the next best move is just to keep moving to the right. All right, so here we go on this left lane now, and I'm sticking with standing on 21, so no changes. And as you can see, I got it way too right of my target, and I end up having to deal with the split now. The funny thing is, I'm pretty certain that this is probably either the second or third time that I've left this. And I made none of it. All right, so this shot right here was a rather strange one to me. So that one right there, I actually, like, off my hand, it seemed left of target. But like I said, this right lane is very oily, so it had an unbelievable amount of hold to the pocket. All right, on that shot, unfortunately you can't see it, but that one right there, I had let go of the ball wrong again. And I just to confirm that I had let it go the wrong way, I could see when the ball came back to the ball return that most of the track flare was over the middle finger again. So I'll tell you, I really got to work on my release again. 9th frame. Off balance yet again, and it cost me. Or so I thought. You should have seen me. Like, I knew it was bad, and I saw those 2 pins, and then I turned around, and then suddenly, this guy was all telling me, oh, no, you can sit down now, you're good. And I'm like, what? And then I see that there's nothing there, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, I guess the bowling gods were like, I'm going to let you have that one, but that's your last pass. That's your last free pass. So, yeah, I guess I was clearly meant to have this game. But here we go on the 10th. Do I take advantage of that free pass? Yes, I do, and I believe that is a ham bone. So, I believe that's also the one and only ham bone of the night. I'm not sure. I wasn't paying attention to what my opponents got, but first shot, that one was really good, and I don't remember. I think I can max out at the 240s, but I'm not really sure. So yeah, that one right there, I kind of dropped it, and I got it left of target, and as a result, I end up leaving the 3 and the 6 and the 10, and that gives me a score of 232, which I would say is fantastic. So I guess now I feel would be a good time to tell you that 232 that I got right there, that is the only 200 game on this pair. Nobody else got a 200 game. No one on the opposing team, no one on my team. That 232 was the only 200 game. So it was an all-out struggle amongst everyone on this pair. Okay, so here we go for the final game of the night, and this is where the regret and the annoyance and anger over my decision starts to come into play. Not in that moment when I was out there, but like afterwards. So, as you can see, I made the change to the nuclear cell, and you may be thinking, why, after I just got a 232 game with the rocket ship? Well, based on what the conditions, I just started to think to myself, like, man, these conditions are going to deteriorate, and then I'm going to have bad carry with this rocket ship. I just started thinking ahead, and all those things started to make me think, like, ball change is the best choice. So I made that change to the nuclear cell, and it ended up being a really, really bad choice on my part, and I probably should have stuck with the rocket ship, and you're going to see why. So for that, I was on board 22, and I fell off balance. The ball, based on what I saw, was pretty good, so I thought maybe I could do something with this ball for this third game. And the messenger didn't help me out, and then yeah, luckily I picked up my 10 pin after missing on this left lane the last time I left the 10 pin, but oh man, this third game, I'm just so disappointed in myself over my decision making and my bad shot making and all that stuff. Look at that. Fell off balance, let the ball just roll off my hand and just give it like some kind of more towards the, like, I don't know. That was like forward rolling right there. It did hook a little bit, but that was just god-awful. And I was like, really? Really? Like, how many more times are you going to fall off balance at the line and mess up your shot? Like, That was literally, that right there, what just happened, that was my third game in a nutshell. That. So yeah, I used my spare ball for that one. That was a rather risky move. I mean, I feel like the safer play would be to pick up a strike ball. What do you guys do when you leave the rail like that? Do you pick up your strike ball and hook at it, or do you actually go straight with it with your spare ball? So that one was a pretty good one there, and probably the only good shot on out of this entire third game. Did it again. The ball, like, I fell off balance. The ball, I didn't even hook it properly, and it did that, and it got too far right. So because I started to lose my focus and my confidence in my ability to make spares, I just decided to play it safe. See that? There it is, right there. Again, what I did on that right lane happened on this left lane. Oh my goodness. You know, this is honestly I knew what was happening. Like, obviously, you know, my approach still needs work. Like, my timing was off, and then what else? The thought of being on this pair, you know how I hate this pair. I let it get to me again, and that is honestly pathetic on my part. The fact that, because, you know, this is just like any other pair. But I guess, you know, the thought that I'm next to this wall and, you know, I know how bad this pair can be, I let it all get to me. It affected me. And then, you know, the lack of practice as well, that also played a factor. But, yeah, I mean, look at that. It was at this point where I told myself, I am just done. I want to get the heck out of here. Yeah, so many things, man, played a factor in my deterioration in this third game, and they don't even count as legitimate excuses. See, that was a good one. But I got it a little too far to the right, and the ball hit back light again. I thought that the ball was strong enough to defy whatever puddle was down there, and it kind of didn't. That falling off balance, man, it's so annoying. Playing. Alright, that one right there, it got too far right down lane, and that one was way too obvious. That one was set up to leave a 10-pin. Ouch. That's all I gotta say about that. Ouch. Okay, here we are on the right lane, and after that, missing that 10-pin, second 10-pin miss of the night. Horrible. And that one right there, I dropped it. But somehow it struck, and I got very little solace from that. Like, it did nothing for me. I was already to the point where I'm, like, done, and I want to just go home. Alright, so on that one right there, I think I probably could have made a move, but I didn't know it. Like I said, I was just done. I didn't care. I wasn't paying attention to nothing. And I don't even know that I changed my game plan. I think I was on 22.5 on this left lane. It remained unchanged from the beginning. But that right lane, because of how much of a puddle was down there, I believe I was on like 21.5 or something. But on that one, I felt like maybe the speed was a little bit slower. And yeah, every time I left something, it just made things worse. And this definitely shows you that I'm just finished. Look at that. There was very little care in the world behind that shot right there. See that? I didn't even notice that my tripod got knocked over a little bit, and it ended up messing with the position of it. And that ball right there, I'm not going to tell you what that is. That was actually a ball change. That wasn't the nuclear cell traveling down the lane. So that's the 10th frame, and it struck, but you could see that ball didn't even want to move. And yeah, I'm not going to tell you what that is. I will definitely have to keep that one a secret from you guys for a little bit. It's not new. It's discontinued. Yeah, some of you probably might already know what that is based on the colors, but I'm not going to tell you. We're going to have to wait. We're going to have to wait on this one. I might take it to League next week based on what I see. Yeah, you see what I mean? That ball didn't even want to move, and I end up getting the lightest pocket hit I could possibly think of, and I end up leaving that, and I think that's the 4-pin. I don't know if that's the 2-pin, but yeah. Terrible, terrible game, and I think I do pick that up. I'm not sure. Let's see. Yep, I end up picking it up, and I end up with the 157, which means I think that is a 560 series. Horrible, horrible. And would you believe that my 560 series ended up being the highest series on this pair? That's crazy because two of the guys on the opposing team, they didn't even get any higher than, like, I don't even know what they got, but I know they also got 500 series as well, and that's insane because they usually get like 600 series on the regs. So the fact that I got the highest series, and the highest series was 560, that's how you know it was a nightmare on this pair. So I thought like I was really beating myself up on this one because I thought, like, I don't know, I just had it in my head that everybody else was playing better and I was playing like complete trash. But to see that 560 was the highest series showed that, wow, everybody else did struggle too. It wasn't just me. So, but you know what? What I did, there's no excuse for that. I mean, that one's all on me. Period. It's all on me. So, all I can do is not dwell on it, but move on and learn from it. That's for sure. So, yeah, 560 to end the night. Horrible. And obviously, you know, ball change, that ball change is something I deeply regret. I mean, I should have stuck with the rocket ship. Even if it would have been pretty bad, like if like I would have gotten bad carry or bad shots or whatever, I guarantee you I probably would have gotten a much higher score than 157 if I'd have still been using that rocket ship. It may not have been a 200 game, but I know I could have gotten a lot higher than that now that I'm thinking about it. Okay, so after all of that, this is the summary. This is what it's looking like. So game one with the 171, not bad, not bad, but not good. Game two, 232. We thought we were back on track until game three came about, and I went downhill and scored a 157. And that made for a total of 560 for week number 8. So compared to last week's series total, which was 580, so that is really not good. Back-to-back 500s, not cool at all. So the series required to raise my average would have been 607, and I completely tanked on that. That totally sucks. And my pin total after week 8 is 4,705 after 24 games played. That brings our average down a point. So I went from 198 to 197 to 196, and I hope that I can get some redemption next week because we're off this pair, thank God. We're going to be on 13 and 14, I believe. Yep, I can confirm that. Yeah, we're going to be on 13 and 14, so that's got to be a much better pair. So, and then, you know, after seeing how good this rocket ship was and then the proton physics, I didn't really, I feel like I could definitely do something with that now that we're off of 1 and 2. I think I'm going to bring those to League with me next week as well. And then that other secret ball that I used on the 10th frame, I probably might bring that. I'm not sure yet. I got to try it out first, see how what I'm working with. I think I might like it, though. I've got a really good feeling about it. But, yeah, my highest game continues to be the 256 with the Zen Master in week 1, and then that 636 that I got. I don't remember when I got that. I'm going to have to go back and look up that. But, yeah, that is what week 8 looks like. Horrible. But, you know, I really got to let go of the fact that I'm on one. Like, you know, I got to stop letting it get to me, the fact that we're on 1 and 2. And because, you know, it's been bad to me in the past. I've got to let that go because that played a factor in why I played so badly. I mean, and also, of course, the bigger thing here was the fact that that ball change, that horrible decision to ball change when I probably should have stuck to the rocket ship. That definitely played a factor too. But anyway, we're done with week 8, and now we move on to week 9 where hopefully we can do better. So I'm Frank the Tank, and I will see you guys in week number 9.